Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.
Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Joey Wobbs. That is Mr. Link, and welcome to episode 42 of Wabbslink. Make sure, as everyone comes in from Chez's channel, I did know. Thank you, Chez, for the redirect. I appreciate you, my G.
Thank you, Chez.
So, as everyone comes in, I just want to take a bit of time to give my commiserations for Diego Jota and his family. Something specific to me, I just think that for me and Link, we're a big part of the FIFA community. So, like, seeing specifically a person who bridged the gap between FIFA and the real world of football was someone that was like, he was very important to our community overall. Just in that sense, specifically without like having to go into like his family and his time at Liverpool, because that's specifically what he meant to me. So I'm gonna let Link go on his side, but specifically what Diogo Jota meant to me specifically was that he was the one that was consistently bridging the gap between real football and FIFA. So I appreciate Diogo Jota for what he did as a pioneer for he's really like the biggest soccer star that was playing FIFA at the time, and real people were playing him in football and foot champs, and really making people's days just by playing this guy. And by the way, he was an unbelievable player as well. One of my favorite players on Liverpool, period. There's a he's one that has hurt my team with goals, but just you could tell from like just the person that he is a very driven and very happy individual. And to see how his last month has gone, and for him to lose everything, or for his family to lose everything after the month that he's had, realistically, is probably the saddest part. He went from the Premier League title to the Nations League title to getting married to a couple days ago. So I gotta give my commiserations to Diogo Jota's family. There is no way of being able to describe the type of pain that his family is feeling, and I don't want to take away from what they're dealing with, and we didn't want to take away from what they were dealing with yesterday, even though hundreds of people were doing it anyway. So it just wasn't for us, wasn't for this channel. That's not what we were going to do. So we appreciate you guys being patient for the show coming back, but really this was time that I wanted to take out of the show to just make sure that we are sending our prayers over to Diogo Jota's family. Link, I'm gonna give the floor to you. I wanted to get this kind of more out of the way so we could actually just talk a little bit more about football. So I'm gonna give you the floor, my man.
Thank you. I didn't prepare anything, so whatever I say is just off the top of my head. But thank you guys for showing up. Thanks for popping out to the show. We appreciate it, truly. I know I say every week that it's the highlight of my week, and it is, but we have to start with the low light of the week. And a beautiful human being is gone, and it's very ironic that most of the criticism I had for our attacking force was Jota, but none of that matters. Literally none of it matters. A beautiful human being was lost, a brother, a father, a son, a husband. I can't grasp how it's so frustrating how Diogo Jota's life, especially the last month, is just an example for everybody how things can be going so well and you can have everything taken from you in a moment. And I think if we're trying to look at this from a positive standpoint, you can say at least Jota left when he was at his happiest with his family, with being married, having the love of his life and his children. And I'm rambling, but I want to make sure the respects are paid to the people that are most affected: his kids, his wife, his family, his brother's family, and their immediate close relationships. I don't know where they would start to begin to pick up the pieces, but I hope they know that the the greater footballing community is with them for the most part. I know we've seen some selfish people on the internet, and I don't want to give them too much time, but we are all with you as much as we can be for someone that doesn't know you and only supports pictures and the ideas of a person. Um, I'm so sorry this happened to you, and I hope you can find your silver linings in this. And we'll all miss Jota. We respect him, and lastly, he was a great, phenomenal player.
All right, I think that was well said, and I think this is something that we can move on from for now. So, Link, I think if we're going to talk about the transfer news, there's not really much for you specifically as of right now, so we'll probably make this a pretty short show overall.
We can talk, brother.
Yeah,
talk about Chelsea. There's not going to be any transfer news from us for some time, bro.
Yeah, I think at least the next couple weeks, probably for you guys. I think you guys will be kind of quiet for the next week or so. Between the just out of respect for Diogo Jota and his family. Not for nothing, as unfortunate as it is, it's not like you guys weren't also already looking for a striker. So now that probably ends up getting ramped up after like a couple weeks. So, like that's kind of. The last part that I want to give Liverpool credit for specifically is big the fuck up for retiring his number right away. Like that shit is a class move. Like as class as it gets. That's the type of move that I expect from your club specifically too. It's just based off of like the history of how classy you guys are. Like extremely classy move, bro. Extremely classy move. So
I would have been disappointed if they didn't, but yeah.
No, I know, but to do it as quickly as they did, in my opinion, it was just like they're not even thinking about it. They knew that this was what needed to happen, and they did it, like right from the get-go. No thoughts, no, pondering it. Just 20 is gone for the rest. 20 is gone for the rest of Liverpool's history. Like that's it. And hey, he got you 20. He got you number 20. So 20 just that number is it's well and within their right
number. It's his number.
Mm-hmm. It's not like he left Liverpool. So that number just is something that needs to be retired, and I'm glad they did it. All right. Let's get to some news that might actually cheer you up. Okay. Chelsea at this current moment have a few players up for sale. Okay. So there's two players that this channel has spoken about specifically about who would be moved. Okay. Number one, Nico Jackson. Okay. Nico Jackson is the background noise right now. Okay. There's background noise around Nico Jackson. I can tell you guys because I've been telling you guys for 8 goddamn months that Nico Jackson and Aston Villa is a lot closer than people want to expect. And I've been telling people for 8 months since he came up with that. Since, to be honest, I always knew it was going to be Villa. That was since January. Since they lost Durant, I knew it was going to be Villa. So now Simon Phillips has came out on his Substack saying that Villa is just waiting for an Ollie Watkins sale, and they will be going in for Nico Jackson at 55 plus 5. Just like everybody, just like we went in for Pedro for 55 plus 5. Okay, so I got that one out of the way. That's the easy one. That's the one that, eases my soul, per se. Okay. But the one that's going to make you, the one that it makes me laugh, makes you laugh, makes our entire fan base laugh, is Nani Madueke to Arsenal.
This is my favorite transfer. Not even just my favorite transfer, bro. Like, Arsenal's transfer window has the possibility to be the funniest shit ever.
Bro, they about to sign 3 Brexit attackers.
Bro, they're dead ass. Their window is about to be Norgard, Kepa, Zubamendi, Madueke, Gyökeres, and Eze. That's gonna be their window.
I wouldn't even be surprised if it wasn't Gyökeres and it was Ollie Watkins.
Bro, if it's Ollie Watkins, I'm laughing even more. Ollie Watkins would probably fit better, but Ollie Watkins it would be a laugh for them to have all this hype. Oh, Berta's cooking with grease. Oh, Berta's here. You're gonna see Arteta just needs a striker, and then their striker's Ollie Watkins.
You know what I come to find out? It's funny that the way that these fans speak about the way that their club is going to move, and they never move that way. Like, I think that's the part that like has to be taken into consideration. Is like they are always speak like, oh, let's get Rodrigo and Eze. Let's get Rodrigo, Eze, and Gyökeres. Why don't we get Eze, Rodrigo, Gyökeres, and Sesko? Like, bruh. Who the fuck do you guys think you are?
You know what I hate?
Like,
when you
who
throw logic at them
and
you put money at them, they go, it's not my money. I don't care.
Yeah, well, exactly.
I'm glad you don't care, but it doesn't mean that they're going to spend the money.
Well, here's the problem, right? And we've said it from the beginning, right? We've said it from the beginning. Their window is totally correlated to who is willing to take less than Kai Havertz. That's what their window is. Anybody who they buy has to say, we are willing to take less than what Kai Havertz is getting. That's the end. Any attacker they get, that has to be the answer to the question. The answer to the question has to be, I'm willing to take less than what Kai Havertz is getting, and I'm willing to take, or you guys are willing to give me more than what Kai Havertz is getting. Yeah. And it doesn't look like they want to give anybody what Kai Havertz is getting.
Nope.
Including Rodrigo. Because right now, it's been said by multiple sources, including their A1 Tier 1 source, Sammy Mockbell. They said, David Ornstein. He came out and said, they're not going to buy Rodrigo or Gordon unless they move from Martinelli. Which tells me that they aren't going to move. They need to move wages off the books before they can put someone of that status onto their books.
Correct.
So to me, we are right back. Arsenal is right back to what I thought they would be.
Yeah.
Right back to where I thought they would be. So now it's up to Arteta to coach his way out of a paper bag.
So, literally. Yeah.
That's literally all you have is you have to coach your way out of this bag. Because now, no wonder why you told Kai Havertz to put on 15 pounds of muscle. No wonder. Because he was going to have to be your starter. Point blank and simple. That Arteta signing, that ass, was the nail in the coffin. We just haven't nailed it down all the way yet.
It's only a nail in the coffin because of the rest of the signings that were made together.
No way.
Yeah, I was going to tell you that you were talking, but they finally got player X.
Yo! Man.
They finally
got player X, bro.
Finally, bro. Like,
he didn't get enough smoke for that shit, bro. He didn't get enough smoke for that shit, in my opinion, bro.
I don't like how the media does that stuff.
He didn't get enough smoke for that shit, bro.
He played in America,
2 years of football while he was being charged. 2 years of football while he was being charged.
Good years of football.
2 full years of football he got to play. That is garbage, in my opinion. That's garbage. And to let him play as that football club, to let him play. Would you have let Gylfi Sigurdsson fucking play while he was fucking being charged? No. No one did. They fucking send him to the gulag as soon as they found out he was being charged. This is disgraceful. Bro, that is disgraceful. That is disgraceful. Like, he was charged. He's been charged for a while. They're just officially charging him now. He's been in this scenario for a while. There's a reason why he couldn't go to away games. We all knew it. They didn't want to say it. There was a reason that he couldn't go to certain away games. Certain countries wouldn't let that shit happen. Plain and simple. And we all knew it. We all made the jokes about it. And he was still playing football for the last 2 years while this whole shit was happening. That's unbelievable. To me, that's unbelievable. That's unbelievable that you can let that. The fact of the matter is bro, if your business has somebody who's going through that charge, they're gone.
Yeah.
Even if they're going through it, they're gone.
It doesn't matter if they actually get.
If they get charged or not, they're gone. And for Arsenal to sit here and let this guy play for the last year and a half, that's disgusting, bro. That's disgusting. Yo, I don't want to hear, bro, I don't want to hear nothing from Arsenal fans. I dead ass don't want to hear anything. They don't get to speak to anyone, period. Disgraceful football club. Like I told you, the way that you handled your business, Link, Liverpool, that's class. That's so class. That's class. It's class as it gets. This is the exact opposite. This is the exact opposite, bro. The exact opposite. And they offered him an extension too, is the worst part. They offered him more money. They offered him another deal. Disgusting. It's disgusting. And don't forget the poor girl that he did it to, who came on Twitter and got obliterated by fucking Arsenal fans. The girl 2 years ago, there was a girl who came on Twitter and put all this out. It was that she got raped by Thomas Partey. Excuse me, R word. And she got obliterated by Arsenal fans. And she was way too vivid not to know what was actually going on. Way too vivid. Bro, they knew this. That's the worst part about this. They've known. You don't get officially charged if they didn't know.
Yeah. I mean, they've been doing articles about this for 18 months now.
Bro, it's been almost, it's nearly been 2 years. That's disgusting. That is disgusting. Yeah, I know, Jay. I know. I shouldn't have used the word. I was trying to avoid it the entire time. Disgusting, bro. Bro, you don't get officially charged. Yeah, I know, Jay. They be on their BS, but it is what it is. It is what it is. That is disgusting to me, bro. That is disgusting. It's disgusting when it happens to, if an NFL team, dude, I don't remember the last time an NFL player, bro, he was officially charged today, Nathan. Go look it up on Google. He was officially charged today. Officially charged. I don't know what that term means for you in England, but I know what that means for us here. Yeah. Deshaun. That's it. That's like the last person that I can think of that. And he was suspended for over a year.
Nah, they just got Justin Tucker.
Yeah, well, Justin Tucker is going to be. He's nixed. He won't play He won't ever play again. He won't ever play again. Justin Tucker won't ever play football again.
And then you have the ones before that are Kareem Hunt, Ray Rice. They weren't the R word. I don't know.
And those also.
Those are DV.
Yeah, but those are guys who ended up serving time.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like all of these guys served time. As soon as it happened, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
As soon as it happened. Like as soon as it happened, that those guys were nixed. You get nixed in the NFL. If you're a flight risk, bro, you get nixed. That's how it is in the NFL. Same with the NBA, bro. Look what they did to Ja. Ja was throwing grenades in the crowd, fake grenades in the crowd. 6 games. Sit your ass down. You haven't learned your lesson. Sit your ass down. Ja was had a gun in his hand. 10 games. Sit your ass down. You've been charged. Okay. If that's what it means, he was charged. He was charged. Charged for us means that they have a stone cold case against you. Like it doesn't mean you have no evidence. It doesn't mean it's just some random thing that's coming up that's like charged means we got a case, bro. This is why you here. We've had a case. They've just held the case off until he's got his contract was released. Because we've all known this for 18 months. And there's a reason why there's certain countries he's not allowed that he wasn't able to travel to. I just think it's very, very, it's a disgusting look, bro. See, the thing is, bro, is like, Nathan, if I could stay neutral, but bro, I've seen these things happen way too many times, son. Sam C. Let's take a look.
No, Nati. That's why. I think there's a disconnect between how things work in America.
Oh yeah. Nathy. He was guilty. He was already guilty. It's already no. He's guilty.
So they were just waiting to release the information.
Like
so yeah, England does funny shit, bro. England does funny shit. So yeah, so they knew and they were like, look. So they asked to keep him out until the season was over.
Offenses happened between 2021 and 2022.
Yeah, but I didn't know if they had finished.
3 different women. Yeah. I'm done talking about this. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I gotta stop talking about this. Like, this is not football for me. Like, that's not a football conversation no more. Like, that's just a moral conversation. Let's not have a conversation about the morals. It's disgusting. Okay, it's disgusting. That's what I thought, bro. I thought you don't get charged without having actual evidence and proof to be able to be charged. Like, I thought that's how it was in England. Like, but hey, I like let's just move from this conversation. But unless you want to continue on it, I'm gonna move. But Arsenal knew about this. Arsenal knew about this. These charges have been from 2021 to 2022. So over 4 years ago, these happened. They knew about this.
That's interesting.
3 different women. That, bro, like, gross. Absolutely disgusting. Okay? No, we already did, Z. We already did. That was the first subject we had. But do you have anything else to say about it? They offered him another contract, by the way.
Yeah, which is crazy. But not so much Partey, but how do I put this? Not Partey as the individual. Don't look at it subjectively, but objectively. It's just another problem that's wrong with the fucking world, man. Like, it should be obvious that Partey is not a good human being. At least from those actions. But what shouldn't happen is that a player is allowed to have these charges looming over his head, have the lives of people affected still going on, and then he's able to play at the grandest stage at one of the highest privileges ever for 18 months with no type of repercussions.
Yeah, to be honest, like
how many articles did we see on player
footballer who gets away with that shit and gets covered up by the club? That shit's disgusting to me.
But it's not.
And it probably happens more than we realize. Is the thing.
Yeah, it has to, because they're not allowed to disclose this stuff until after the fact.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to talk about it. It's not appeasing, but yeah.
I don't want to dig too deep into it now. Like, just. To be honest,
great player, terrible player.
To be honest, like, now look, Norgard looks like the right move. So congratulations.
Norgard was always the right move.
I didn't feel you guys too hard on Norgard when you first signed him, because I don't actually think he's that bad of a player. I actually think he's a quality player, like, that would start for a lot of teams. But now, good job getting Norgard. Great signing. 10 million, and you got rid of that scumbag. Great fucking signing.
Still want one shit.
I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. I just never thought they would win shit regardless, bro. There's not a player that they've been linked with that's going to tell me that they're going to win anything.
Correct.
And by the way, the same reservations that I have for Rodri and the way that his injury is the same reservations that I have for Saka and his injury. And probably a bit more for Saka, actually. Because Saka is absolutely about how mobile you are. And I don't believe that his mobility is going to be right until, like I said for Rodri, January. Somewhere around January is where I believe where they'll start to take an upturn unless there's a setback, an uptick on it. And by the way, Rodri already had a setback.
Already?
Yeah. So, like, to me, to me, if we go back to the conversation of Nani, right? They're going to need Nani. They're going to need someone because they don't trust Ethan.
Nope.
And they haven't given him a contract. They went and paid Miles.
Yep.
But they haven't paid Ethan. So now I'm sitting here, I'm thinking to myself, this kid's going to go on a free.
But,
You know who's first? You know who's first to line up for that shit?
You.
Yep.
You guys. And you know who else?
A London player leaving a club for free of his quality.
You know who else is going to be there? You know who else is going to be there? It's going to be me and you fighting for him.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if United was in there.
Yeah. It's funny. We anoint. I use we loosely because I'm talking about Arsenal fans, but we as football fans in general, we anoint these players, and then you act like they don't have social media. So when these Arsenal fans are out here gassing up, going there, oh, he can replace Odegaard, he can back up Odegaard. Oh, Haaland.
Yeah.
Oh, we got baby Saka. Yeah, well now he wants to play and he wants to get paid like he's all those things. So enjoy that. Enjoy that. You better hope you
find it interesting, right? All right, so
same thing with Kobe at Man U.
Ethan, you're bringing you have Ethan, right? This is, in my opinion, mercurial talent. Like to my eye, kid has all the ability to be everything that you could ask for. Okay, that's my opinion, and I don't want, bro. I'm a Chelsea fan. I don't want to say that about an Arsenal player, but I believe Miles and him are top of the class talents. Okay, personally, that's the way I see it. All right. You're bringing in Eze and you're bringing in Nani. What pathway do I have now?
Exactly.
What pathway do I have now? You're bringing in Eze, you're bringing in Nani, and I'm in a contract negotiations? And I'm in contract negotiations, and you're bringing in Eze and Nani? Yeah, you could kiss my ass. That's what I would say. If I'm in Wanyeri, I'm saying kiss my ass. Because where do I play?
Yeah.
You're bringing in Eze to take my 10th spot, who will also be able to cover for the left wing, which I don't even want to play on the left wing. But if I have to get out in the pitch and play, I'll play left wing. You're taking the backup spot away from me from Saka. So where's my game time? Where do I get to play? This looks like a free. They're going to lose him out on a free eventually, like next year. He'll sit the bench and then he'll move on a free. That's what this looks like, bro.
These young players, man, they're moving differently. That happens more.
Bro. Think about it, though. Think about what I'm talking about. It's not out of the question. If you go and tell me the window that they're trying to end up with is Nani Eze, and then fucking I'm sitting there as Ethan Wanyeri, bro, right? And I'm sitting there like, yo.
TKL said it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And this is the thing. It's not to they're just crashing on Arsenal. But unfortunately for Arsenal has not given tangible success to this young generation for them to say, I want to do this here.
Bro, the key to me, I think the one thing that Arsenal fans should look at first is we haven't been to a final in 5 years, let alone a trophy. We haven't been to a final, okay? At least, like, the ability of trying to, like, the whole trophy thing, right? It first comes to, unless you're talking about the Prem, there's a final involved in every scenario.
Right.
You haven't even gotten to the step of getting to a final yet. Like, that's a step. That's still a step. Like, getting to the final is still a step. Getting to a final with your crew of people is still a step. We did it in our first year, and we passed it the next year. We went and got our trophy the next year, right?
Right.
There's the progression. There's key, like, tangibles that you could say that there's progression. This is stagnation now. This has been stagnation of 3 years.
They plateaued, bro. They plateaued. And they're not, and back to our point that we made earlier, they are not going to blow up their wage structure to change the level that they're going
Bro,
to.
if I'm an Arsenal fan, I understand Lee Gunner, bro. Like, people wonder why Lee Gunner is the way he is. Bro, what they've done to that football club is, it's like
they've normalized not winning.
no. Let me. I got a good analogy, a metaphor for you. Okay. It's like buying an old dress. Like, it's like having this old dresser, right? All right. You have this old dresser that you've bought, right? You end up, put new hinges on it. You put new. Let's do the car scenario. You have this old car, okay? You put new tires on it, right? You put new brakes on it.
Yeah.
You put a new head gasket on the engine.
Yeah.
But the engine still got 150 on it.
The transmission's still about to go.
The transmission still got 150 on it. They put a new coat of paint on that bitch 3 times. Every year they put a new coat of paint on the bitch. But the engine still the same, $150 to $200K on it.
Yep.
That's why it'll never get to the end of the race.
Well,
That's why it'll never, bro. New coat of paint. It's a new coat of paint every year. New color.
Yeah.
First red, then white, then back to red.
Yeah, motherfucker, replace the engine.
Motherfucking needs a new engine so bad. And all they keep on doing is replacing spark plugs and fucking wires.
They got the new LED
trying to
screen.
change the oil, but that motherfucker's never gonna get first across the finish line, bro. It needs a new engine. Like,
they got the 80 Camaro with the new LED on the the screen. They
changed
everything in
3.5. Like, you can't win in a 3.5. Like, you're never gonna win in a 3.5. It's just a 6-cylinder. You need an 8 to get you across the line. You never until you get an 8-cylinder, you're never gonna get across the line. Like, that's Arsenal. That's the metaphor for Arsenal, bro. That paint job is nice every year. At the beginning of the year, people are telling me that paint job is nice, but they got the paint. They got the paint from Walmart. Like, they got the paint from AutoZone. Like, that's where they got the paint from. Like, bruh.
Custom paint job, chrome.
They doing the paint themselves, son. They doing the paint themselves.
They got the.
That's why they gotta redo it every year.
It's funny you said paint job because they be dropping new kits every 3 months. It's fucking hilarious. They got a new merch drop every quarter, bro.
You get it, bro. That's the point. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Chelsea. So, over the last 2 weeks, Chelsea has signed Jamie Gittins, and they have signed João Pedro. All right, so I'm not the biggest fan of Jamie Gittins, but I understand profiles better than others, and I understand sample sizes better than most. So I can see where they got their sample size and what they were looking at when they went to go buy the player. Okay, I can actually see okay, and obviously all the Man City links, and it just all connects. Right, it all connects to Enzo Maresca's already had him. He's played with Cole, played with Liam, played with Lavia, played with like he's played with that crew of people, right? So I get Jamie. Like we've spoken about Jamie a ton. João Pedro, on the other hand, we've not spoken about. That moved very quickly. We saw the opportunity and jumped at it, and I think João Pedro wanted the opportunity as much as we did. I think that's a good sign, in my opinion, from like a player perspective. Now, we're talking specifically on the player. It's based if you can't base this player on last year's system. Okay, that's the first thing that I have to say. Okay, because if you're basing him on last year's system, where he would play is in Enzo Fernandez or Cole Palmer's position. Like that's technically where he would play, right? But the way that we've played over this Club World during this Club World Cup is to allow Liam to be isolate one defender more often in scenarios of that nature. So basically what you're going to see a lot of is instead of it being like a 4 in the midfield and having one striker, it's going to be a 2 striker and then João drops into the midfield to make it a 4 in the midfield. So it's like a little bit of another wrinkle that we can provide that changes the dynamic of how you have to defend us.
Right.
So like in my opinion, what Enzo Maresca is doing is realistically saying, all right, you guys can defend us this way, but what happens when we put 2 up there and you have to pull, we start pulling your center backs out of position?
Exactly.
Like you think you can defend us with our setup that we had last year. What happens when I add this wrinkle? What happens when you try to defend us and we add this wrinkle? And I still have Cole Palmer that you have to man mark the entire time. Bro, there's issues. There's big issues. Not for us. It's not for like people should be scared, and it's not us, bro. Because and I think a lot of people are misunderstanding like what he's supposed to be to us. Bro, he's an X factor. Like he's an X factor. Like he's the type of guy who can take and this is why if you bring in Kudus on top of this, then there's no one you can man mark. You can't man mark anybody on our team anymore. Like it changes everything. When I say it changes everything, bro, last year I came on this channel, bro, for 3 months from January to April and told you we were easy to defend. I came on here and I told you this. We're easy to defend. All you have to do is man mark us and have Sanchez make mistakes on the pass. Easy to defend. If you bring in Pedro, Kudus, and by the way, Jamie is a great ball carrier.
Mm-hmm.
Like the ball carrying level of this team just rose. And Nani Madueke has like alien ball carrying numbers, by the way. Like alien ball carrying numbers.
Yeah, it's annoying.
It's actually crazy. That's why he's getting all the links that he gets. Because the ball carrying numbers per game are alien like. It's like 7 ball carries a game, which is like an unheard number. Like the average for Europe is 3. Like the high-end average of Europe is 3. And he's getting 7 ball carries a game. That's what I'm saying by alien fucking numbers. Like we see with our eyes how ineffective he is by the goal. But if you're telling me what does Nani Madueke do really well is he can carry the ball from one half of the field to the other half of the field on his own.
Yeah, correct.
Like, that's what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
So, like to me, this team is. I'm saying third.
I'm saying third, if not second. And the only reason I'm saying we don't win the title is because you guys are more consistent. That's it. I don't think we're more than. I don't think you guys. I don't think we're more than eight. More than eight. 8 is the most. I think we're off the title this year. 8 points is the most. I think we're off the title this year. I think we're 15 this year. I think 8 at most. You guys are ahead of us in the title race. 8.
I'll take that. I think, I was the fool saying you guys are better than Arsenal last year. So if you make these additions, I'm not going to tell you aren't going to finish at least second. I think Nati said title race. I don't know what your particular definition of a title race is. I will say that Chelsea will probably be in it the longest next year.
I just think it's based off of how well does Pep adjust this fucking giant team that he has, right? Like, what does he do with this ginormous team that he has? And then, like, to me, Arsenal just has to. Arsenal, like, I don't know what Arsenal can do to impress me. Right
There's this.
I really don't. Like, I don't know what Arsenal can do to impress me. Like, I just think I have to see on the pitch if the midfield is going to be as good as it was before. I got to see on the pitch if Saka is going to be the Saka of before his hamstring injury. Like I don't know. To be honest, yo, like Nani Madueke, if he got to play for Villa or he got to play for a more transition team,
Newcastle,
but I think they're gonna get Alonga, which is Alonga's pretty similar in the manner of like what he does.
Yeah,
like they just carry the ball, bro. Like it's pretty simple. Forest should. They put 45 for Malik Fofana down, bro. Like, you might as well put 45 down for Nani Madueke. Sorry, Wolfie. I don't know if you're in the chat, Wolfie, but sorry. Like that's
Wolfie, you're not getting Fofana, bro. This is the beauty of Wolfie talking so much trash during the year, and then we get back to the transfer window. That Forest is still Forest.
Mm-hmm.
So they can do all the great scouting they want, but any player they're looking at, if he's looking at going to the Prem, one of the big guns is already looking at that same player. So it's fine. Feel free to put in all these bids for players that you want and just wait for Chelsea, Liverpool, City, whoever to just say, nah.
You know why they're getting Alanga? To make fucking Isak happy.
Yeah, they need a signing. They literally
No.
And he's Swedish.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's because he's their boy. The same thing happened last year, bro. People don't realize. The backup striker, also Swedish.
They gotta appease him, bro.
That's what they're doing, bro. They're gonna buy the guys buy his boys, bro.
That's fine.
That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna buy his boys to hold on to him for as long as they possibly can, bro.
That's fine. As much as I want Isak, I'm fine. Go get Hugo, bro. Go get Hugo, and then
I think it's inevitable, bro, for you guys.
Get Hugo and Rodrigo, bro, or Sesko. I'm fine with Sesko. I would rather us get Sesko than Arsenal,
bro. Like the whole Isak thing, bro. Like the whole Langa thing is partly to appease Isak. Like that's partly like I'm sure Newcastle would go for Nani Madueke if it wasn't like a thing to try to appease Isak. Like to make
but that's what their window is, bro. Their entire window. Yeah, it's strengthening the squad, but it's all to appease Isak.
Yeah.
They have to try to make sure that he doesn't want to leave.
They get guys that are his homies, and get him around him, make him feel more comfortable in Newcastle, and then you don't have to work. Then he's more willing to sign your contract. Like that's
Yeah.
that simple. You know what I'm
Then
saying?
you can pull on the emotional ties.
Yeah, exactly. And they're doing the right thing, right? Like if they're doing the right thing in this manner, is they're getting guys that fit what they do, but also fit their culture of what they want to play, how they want to play. Because I think Alonga's a great signing for them, personally. Like I know that a lot of people aren't like that biggest on Alonga, but like I watched him all year for Forest this year, and I'm a big fan of Milinkovic. I really like Milinkovic, but I always knew he wasn't like a defender that we can get, like as Chelsea. But like I knew how good of a box defender he was. Like, and he's been linked to big clubs for years before he moved to Forest. But nobody wanted to take the opportunity on him. So like he goes there, he takes his opportunity, he ends up playing really well. I thought he was better than Murillo this year personally, but that's just like another whole opinion.
Murillo looks flashy.
I watched Alonga and I'm like, okay, I see like a player that could play on transition at least. And that's a great sign for Forest. That, in my opinion, that's a great signing for Newcastle. Like Alonga, Harvey Barnes, Isak, and Gordon, and you got demon time on the counter, like demon time
on the counter. Yes, but my thing is with Alonga, I don't know if the success he's had this year is because the requirements, the tactical requirements, were simplified.
I don't think it matters personally, bro. Because the way I see it is this, right? It's not like he's a totally bereft technical player either. Like I think that's being like.
I don't think he's overly technical. I think he's got a nice touch at times.
His physicality is what allows him to play the type of football he plays. Like he's a physical player. Like that's more
he's rapid.
And he's rapid, yeah, but that's physical. Like what I mean by that, like his physical traits is what allows him to do what he does, not his technical ability. But he's not totally bereft of technical ability. That's the thing. It's like, to me, it's like I don't see Newcastle playing much different than they did before. Right? Bully ball. That's what they do. It's bully ball out there. Everyone's a physical beast. Everyone. If you can't play physically within the system, kick rocks.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one thing that I didn't think. There's the one thing that with Nani that I was interested in seeing is like, you go to Newcastle, are you going to track back like you should? Like,
yep,
he did get a lot better this year with us tracking back, but there were still lapses of concentration within those time frames. With Elanga, it's like you're getting that tenacity in both sides of the football. Where with Nani, you're probably getting it with one side of the football, and he does it right with one.
I feel like, yeah, with Nani going to Newcastle, it would almost feel like he's a luxury player in that system.
Mm-hmm.
And he wouldn't have the output to justify the lack of work ethic.
He's gotten better though. His work ethic defensively has gotten much better since.
And I won't even say his work ethic, because it's a lot. Everything looks different on camera. I will say it's supposed how it looks to us.
Yeah.
Because like some people just look like
it's
they're
just a lack of concentration sometimes. That's specifically what I'm talking about. Like the lack of concentration in moments is what I'm talking about, really.
I have two questions for you.
Fucking dude, Como is moving mad, bro.
Como
is moving so mad, bro.
I love Cesc Fabregas.
Yo, they built an FM team, son.
Slowly,
they built an FM team.
But the manager is the most important thing, bro.
They built an FM team, son. Like Malik Tai, they have money. Like they're spending money.
They still got Paz.
They just bought Jaden Adai. The top of the class youngsters in Netherlands. Top of the class over at Alkmaar, the right winger.
Okay. Thank you.
Bro, top bro. Top, bro. I am watching cessball. Please, Cuomo, save Andres. Please, Cuomo, save Andres. Save Andres, son. Cuomo, save Andres. I am going to be your biggest fan. Go to Benfica and save Andres, bro. Save Andres. Yo, Nati, these are the teams this year. These are the teams for me. These are my most interesting teams in football right now. Outside of Liverpool. Because I think Liverpool is still the most interesting team in football right now. I really enjoy watching Slot do tactical analysis and watching Slot. I watched a lot of Slot recently. I don't know if I told you this. A couple weeks, earlier this week, Link, I sat and watched 2 hours of tactical breakdowns from Slot and tactical breakdowns of Slot ball. I just love the way he sets up football. He sets up football the way I set up football. Right? He sets up football in the way that I would like to play football. If I was playing for a football team, bro, okay? If I was still out, if my knees didn't hurt as much as they hurt now, that's how I would like to play football. I would have been a monster under this guy, bro. I would have been a monster under this guy. No one, I watch this guy, I'm like, there is everything that he does has a meaning. There's a meaning behind everything. And you think that's a thought process that, of course everything has a meaning, right? Of course, Joe. Why wouldn't it, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got them knees, bro. Fucking, but it's the progression of the way that he plays in one spot, and then as the year progresses, you see adjustments and variations to what is being played on a consistent basis. And the fact of the matter is, the two managers that are doing it the best right now are our two managers. And it's funny to say this, right? Just because we are two brand new managers that came in the league and both impressed in two different ways, right? But with the reason why I think you guys are just a step ahead of us is just literally age. With the age that you guys, the age of your team, there was a tactical adaptability within the team that people didn't really, with our team, they didn't grasp as early as the way that you guys grasped it. Specifically in the manner of the way that the center backs and the goalkeeper correlation and the relationship between the goalkeeper getting the ball to the center backs or the goalkeeper getting the ball to the first phase. Okay, we can just first phase. Okay, so that the adjustments throughout the year and the adjustments game by game based off of who you guys were playing in the first phase was my favorite part of the way that Slot progressed the ball. And it could be the game against us where he pulled Cucurella out of positions to get Salah the long ball from Van Dijk. Or it could have been the game against Fulham where he would drop Gravenberch deeper than even Van Dijk, then have him pick up the ball and then have play 1-2s between the inside three, where then it releases, and then you see the pockets open up for Szoboszlai and McAllister to drop into those spaces and pick up the ball in that manner. And I think that's more where he wants to go. I think he wants to get slower. I think you guys. I think in his opinion, he like I say get slower, but it's even more control than you guys have.
Yeah, he wants us to be more methodical.
Yeah, he wants more control, even because like he wants it to be where there's going to be in the splittest of seconds.
Hold on, Fabrizio. Marcus Rashford, Anthony, Alejandro Garnacho, Tyrell Malacia, Jadon Sancho have all informed Manchester United they wish to leave. Manchester United have delayed their return date until later in July to allow them to explore solutions further.
Yeah. And they gave Mateus Cunha the 10. So that's the end of Marcus Rashford.
These 6 players, bro, basically all the homies were like, yeah, bro, we're dipping.
So, like, just to kind of get back to what I was saying, right? So, like, specifically, like I'm seeing these variations within the team because I think both teams have hit a point of where they need to be with the system that they want, the base of the system.
Exactly. The foundations.
The what's the word that I'm looking for? The core. The core of the style of play that they want, that the manager wants to play, is still no matter if Enzo Maresca plays 2 strikers or if he plays 1 striker, right? You'll still see the same in the end in build-up 3, 2, 4, 1. You'll still see it no matter what. If it's Pedro, if it's you're still going to see that as its core, right? It's just going to be coming from different, like the wide area, like the wide places are going to come from our could be coming from our fullbacks, or it could come from the wingers, right? Those inside 10s could be a midfielder, or it could be a second striker. Like that is that is where these 2 managers specifically, okay, where I watch these 2 managers specifically, the variations that they continually do to tweak this team is why I continuously say, why I'm saying that it's going to be us 2 at the end, at the top. That's why I think that, okay, is because I think that tactically, those are the 2 managers that have enough about them to keep their teams consistent. Okay. Arteta has shown me that, by the way. All right. He has shown me that tactical nous as well. All right. It's not the fact of that. It's the tools for him. It's the tools that he keeps on providing himself, in my opinion. Like it's the fact of, bro, your 9s that you have don't give you enough in the box for you to feel comfortable playing this wide winger cross into the box movement. There's not enough movement. And there's always, and you saw that when it ended up becoming Mourinho, because he understood that he had to continuously be moving around in and around the box. You saw, as soon as you saw that almost a level change when it was Mourinho. Because of his movement, he was always in and around the box, moving to areas where his defender couldn't defend him because they had to keep their line. Where Havertz tends to like to try to push the line himself and then get into an aerial battle. That's not, to me, that's not consistent enough. Like, you're not going to get it consistent enough. Well, first, if you're not an absolute monster in the air like Victor Osimhen, that type of shit don't work. And the second is, if you're not instinctually capable of peeling off the back of a defender, which Kai isn't, like, I urge you to watch Erling Haaland make his runs when the ball is on the wings. Watch how he makes his runs. There's part-time where he's going to keep his run and push the line. And then there's part of the time where he's going to see his defender try to cut that off, and he'll stop, pivot, like literally stop, open his hips up, and then drive into the space behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where he gets a lot of his goals, actually, is the understanding of the positioning that he needs to be in beyond his defender and around his defender, in between the two defenders and beyond the behind of the defender. He knows he's more dangerous behind a defender than in between the two. So he's always going to try to adjust his run based off of where the defender that he has behind him is going to try to cut him off.
Yeah.
And that's his specialty. That's what makes him thrive. So like this is the specificness that I'm speaking of when I'm talking about like how can what tools does Arteta have to allow himself to get that tactical adjustment to push himself above where he is right now. All right. And to me, they haven't been linked with not a single fucking player. Not a single player that can help them. And that's including Gyökeres. I think, like you said earlier, I actually think in and around the box movement-wise, Ollie Watkins is a better fit for him. I actually think that. Like, fit-wise, okay? And there's more problems with our Arsenal, okay? Is Odegaard going to pick up his form?
Mm-hmm.
And if not, do you play Eze in the 10? Because I think Eze is the inevitable one. I think it's an inevitable signing for him. So it's like, once again, to me, it's not as rigid as, it's going to work, it's not going to work. It's do you have the tools to help yourself?
This is my thing with Arsenal, right? None of their moves are bad when you look at it, right? It's not bad at face value. It's when you add in that they need to change their trajectory, right? Like the players that are like with Gyökeres scored a lot of goals. I don't rate Portuguese league, but he abuses high lines and he bullies defenders that are smaller and less athletic than him. That's not going to happen in the Prem. So that's one problem. The second problem with Gyökeres is that they don't play a system that thrives on transition. So they're going to change the style? I don't think so. All right.
Well, they don't have a line breaker.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have the passer to do that. That's the next.
They don't have the line breaker.
Right.
That's
so
what you need for Gyökeres. Like you need a line breaker. You need a guy who's going to be able to.
They need that in general.
And as much as I think Partey's disgusting, that's who he is.
Yeah.
Like that's who he is.
Yeah.
When you talk about Zubimendi, if you look at his passing charts, bro, it just
diagonals. It's
nice, cute diagonal. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you getting Gyökeres, that means he's not getting the ball unless Saka gets him the ball.
Yeah.
He's not going to get the ball. Like literally, he's not going to get the ball. He's going to be in isolation. They probably have a man in front and a man behind. He's going to be fucking stuck.
And this is my thing. I was going to go through the rest of their targets, but if you think about just the system right now, whoever they bring in, it doesn't matter unless Odegaard gets back into his form from 18 months ago, or if Rice becomes the best midfielder in the world. Those are the only two scenarios that they are successful next year. And that's why I'm fine with it. Like Saka, he can be back to what he was, back to his best. It's still not going to be enough that midfield doesn't produce more. Zubimendi doesn't get the midfield to produce more. He gets them to keep the ball. But like you said, they still don't have a line-breaking passer. And the one that they have is now gone.
Yep.
So is Rice going to be the second coming of Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard? I highly doubt it.
So, like, that's it, right?
Basically, Odegaard needs to get 25 GA in the Prem, and Rice needs to have 15.
Pedro, yo, not for nothing. I'm going to be serious. João Pedro fits almost better for Liverpool and Arsenal.
João Pedro doesn't fit at Arsenal for me.
I think with who they have, I mean, to me, if this
I think it's because Arteta. I think Arteta couldn't handle him, but go ahead.
Okay, that's fair. That's a totally different conversation. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're telling me, all right, what works? Okay. What works, in my opinion, up top? What balance? What is a balance up top, right? 2 inside forwards and a false 9. Balance. Okay.
Yeah.
And the problem is that's what they have right now, right? With Kai Havertz, technically, right?
Yeah, but we just said Kai's a false 9 only because some people still like to say, "Oh, well, he's a midfielder," but Kai plays it like a target man, bro.
Yeah. But that's an Arteta thing.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
He's trying to play it like wide wingers because he doesn't have the overlaps no more. He doesn't have an overlap on the left side.
Nope.
At all.
Underlap.
He has the underlap with Declan Rice, right? So Martinelli has to stay wide for him to be anything, for him to not cover up the same space as Declan Rice is going to be.
Yep.
That's misprofile.
Yep.
Period. Right there, period. Period. Stop there. You could stop there. It's a misprofile. It's a misprofile. Martinelli should not be anywhere near the touchline. Not technical enough. Not good enough with his left foot. Only good in and around the box. That's a misprofile. Period. Your best scorer? Bukayo Saka. That's your best goal threat. Where do you have him? At the fucking byline.
Waiting to combine with an out-of-form Odegaard.
Waiting for an overlap from Timber, who is designed to overlap late. It's designed that way. The system is designed that way for him to overlap late, which means Saka is on the island majority of the time until the defensive duties and that they have enough control of the football for Timber to fucking move forward.
Yep.
Do you see it? I don't. This is just fitting fucking square pegs in round holes, bro. In the attack, that's all it is. You're fitting square pegs in round holes.
Everything you've seen post Rice and Havertz is to make sure that those 2 signings look like they work. All of their signings are to make it look like Havertz and Rice can work. If you look at any of them,
it's to make Rice look. It's to make Rice do more than he doesn't actually have to do.
Or
That's my
may
problem.
have the ability to do it. His role should be simplified. He can be this great midfielder if you simplify his role.
It's the fact that they paid all this money for him, bro. So they have to try to get more out of him. But realistically, bro, you don't. You shouldn't have to. He should be dropping into the fucking center backs, being a center back 3, and he should be part of the buildup with an invert or another midfielder dropping in deep. In this case, you do. If you want my honest opinion, you bomb fucking Timber forward. Well, to be honest, you shouldn't bomb Timber forward because there's a fucking injury history. So, that's a whole nother conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have a whole nother problem within the problems. Okay, I can only help you guys so fucking much is the way that I like to describe it. You drop Rice into a 3. Okay, you make it a 3. All right. This is how I deal with it. Personally, this is how I deal with it. I'm fucking eliminating fucking what's his face. I'm eliminating Miles Lewis-Skelly is coming out of fullback. To me that is a stupid. You have to there's so many fucking problems, bro. There's so many fucking problems. The squad is built, in my opinion, to double. You have 2 guys who's supposed to be capable of inverting. Like, serious. That's what we're talking about. So, like, all right. So, if I'm going to do this, right? All right, I'm going to push. Let me get a fucking. I actually have to. I actually need a visual. Otherwise, this is not going to. I won't be able to.
I know what they're trying to do. They want
No, I
the
don't give
ability-
a fuck what they're trying to do.
But-
I'll coach Arteta dead ass with his own team, bro. Like,
I know,
like,
but
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Like, this is the stupidest shit.
But we know why they're doing this. It's because
in my
they
mind,
have
it's so
to
dumb,
hide
bro.
Rice's deficiencies.
All right. So the way I have it set up is this, right? This is Rice, okay?
Where's Rice?
7 is Rice. This is Rice,
Yeah.
okay? I'm pushing him in. I'm pushing him inside. Actually, you can't even do that.
Yeah. Go ahead. Play it out. Go
Right,
ahead.
so this, he would have to fall. He would have to drop because you have the false 9. So you have to. This has to drop deep. This has to be an overlap. Okay.
Yeah.
So these two could still stay inside and high and tight, right?
Mhm.
This has to be an overlap. This has to be an overlap. These two have to step into the midfield. They go wide. They go wide. Step into the midfield. Rice drops into the center back.
Right. Okay. So it sounds.
This is how I play.
But,
okay, and if this was Pedro or Jesus, right? Like this was Pedro or Jesus. That's how I see this working, right?
Okay, but it doesn't work because of the tools. Back to your original point. So who's playing? Who's number 11? Who's doing the overlap with Arsenal's current squad? No one, right? Because it's Rice's job in this team.
If it's Eze.
So if they buy Eze, and
it would have to be Eze, Odegaard, right?
Mm-hmm. With Rice, but they just bought Zubamendi, who's a better passer than Rice. The next thing, Rice can't pass.
Bro, I don't give a fuck. This is how I'm building it.
But Rice can't pass. So, like, until you get into this setup of 3-2-5, you're vulnerable on the ball. Like, I get what you're saying. Once it gets to this shape, it's good. But getting into that shape will cause you problems because Rice is not that good in possession. Right?
Well, so you don't have to get into this shape right away, though. Like,
no,
build up.
I'm not saying get
build up can be
show
different.
Me your build up.
So build up in this is still the same. Build up in this is still the same.
But that's
drop Rice into the 6. Drop Rice into the deep position, right? As like cover to be able to cover this area or cover this area. Okay. Then you have him drop into a pocket, him drop into a pocket, him get wide, and him get wide. You could build up this way.
That's fair. But then you know what the next problem is that you've already mentioned? Why are you paying someone 100 mil to hide him in possession?
I don't ask about. I don't ask. Link. If I'm a manager, I'm coming in. I don't give a fuck about how much you just spent on that guy. You hear me? I don't give a fuck. If I'm taking over for Arteta, I don't give a fuck about how much you spent for Arteta.
No, I'm just laughing because.
But I'm just saying that's how I build it up. Look how it ends up being. It ends up being 3-4-3 and build up. You need ball carriers here. That's a whole nother conversation. Are these two good enough to be are these good enough ball carriers?
No, because Odegaard can keep the ball and take a good turn, but Odegaard can't.
That's a whole nother conversation. Okay? That's a whole nother conversation.
But you're creating a system that, it sounds good, but it's the other conversations that are why Arsenal don't do them in real life and why Arsenal won't win. Because you're asking,
but Odegaard,
you would need to buy 3 players.
I've seen Odegaard be a good enough ball carrier, bro.
It's not that Odegaard. I'm not saying this. I'm an Odegaard fan, so I don't want to say this as like Odegaard can't do it. But I don't look at the type of ball carrying you would need in that position is more similar to a Joelinton type, to where I need him. I need him to force, like, as part of our buildup, I need him to beat a man on regular frequency. Like there's just some people in midfield that when they get on the ball, you're expecting them to beat a man.
See, the
Gravenberch
problem, I
and
think
six.
the main problem here is, if you want my honest opinion, is the decision of who they decided at fullback. It limits them to being able to only play like a deeper type of role. I mean, if you're going to give them the license to get wide, then this system actually works with Zubamendi right here. So if you had Zubamendi right here with Odegaard right here as these wide, and you had it like this, then Zubamendi could be can do what he does best. Mm-hmm. Look at all the wide players here.
Yep. Exactly.
Then you have Odegaard being able to get further forward. And then you have a guy who can get deep, right? A guy who could pick up the ball deep like Pedro. That's why I said Pedro would be a good fit, in my opinion. In this place, Kai Havertz would be our okay fit, but his ball carrying shit.
But while we're on this, you're kind of looking at what Arteta's probably visualizing. I know both fullbacks won't be that far up, but that's
the problem, bro. That's the problem. I just don't know. Playing these players in wide areas limits them, in my opinion. It just limits them. If you had these two guys, Martinelli and Saka here, and you had let's say this is Kai. It's not Pedro because obviously Pedro's with us. But if you had Kai right here, you'd need Kai to drop into these pockets, and then these runs are open right here. But once again, can you trust these fullbacks to get back and forth?
Thank you. It's the
and
trust.
That's a whole other conversation, bro.
That's the problem that Arsenal will have this year, is that they're going to find times where they either don't have enough in attack or that they feel too vulnerable in counters, because MLS and Timber are both really good at different things. Timber's a great one-on-one defender, but tracking back and recovery speed aren't the two things that you look at when you talk about Timber and Miles Lewis-Skelly.
Well, let me just add Arteta and Arsenal analysis to the title, because we spent a lot of time on Arsenal today.
We did. We had now.
Yeah, I'm about to end it right here. We've done a
good hour and 30.
Yeah.
I can talk about the failings of Arsenal for hours on end.
I think Arteta's caught himself in two minds with his signings. He wanted to go one way, and then his signings have kind of led him to another way. You know, do you kind of understand what I mean by that?
Yeah.
You bought, like you kind of said, you bought Kai and you bought Rice. They don't fit the way that you wanted to play 2 years ago or 3 years ago when you first got into this title race. So now you're trying to find a system that fits this team, but you have too many profiles that don't fit a system that can work. That's in my opinion, that's the majority of the problem. There's not one singular profile that can fix it. I don't even think there's two profiles that can really fix it. That's
a disclaimer.
Especially if you want to get them, if you're gonna trying to make Rice look like a 100 million pound player, there isn't a system period that's gonna work, in my opinion.
Correct. And the thing is, it's not even when we say it's a disclaimer, because when we say it's not going to work, obviously Arsenal's not going to drop out of the Champions League spots. We're talking about them winning.
Too much quality for that to happen. Unless it's a Saka just doesn't ever get healthy again. It's just too much quality for that to happen.
We're talking about winning the Prem, winning the champs. We're talking about stuff like that, because those are the ambitions of Arsenal fans, and I'm sure of Arsenal players. So Yeah.
Anyways, before I go, right, I'm just going to talk specifically on today's game. We are out of we probably aren't going to have Caicedo or Lavia today, so it'll be a good test for us at least.
What time is the game?
It's 8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
So like if it's something that what I think ends up happening personally is I think we'll control a lot of the games and they'll just have a lot of counter opportunities. They like for I do find this weird, okay? And hear me out for just a second. I like Richard Rios a lot. All right. I've watched him quite a bit because obviously with Esteval being at Palmeiras, like I obviously have watched a good chunk of Palmeiras games over the last year and a half. But I do find it odd that they skip the first phase so frequently. Like, I don't know if that's a warning sign to Manchester United fans, because I know that they're linked to Richard Rios, but that would worry me. The amount of times that they skip first phase, bro, makes me believe that they don't have a guy that can get them out of first phase. That's what that means. They don't have a midfielder that can get them out of first phase. And if they don't have a midfielder that can get them out of first phase, Richard Rios is not a good midfielder for the Premier League. Period. Any team. He is not the right midfielder for the Premier League if he's not going to be able to get out of the first phase. So that's just something I would watch if I'm watching today. Specifically, do they play out of the first phase? I doubt they will because we press very high. And especially with the new system that we have where we have two up top pressing, where it literally takes the center backs out and it forces the long ball from this. We're doing to teams what teams did to us last year.
Yeah.
We're man marking, pressing you into goalkeeper decisions.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing now. And all the players that we're linked with have really high defensive numbers. Like the attackers have really high defensive pressing numbers.
Good dueling numbers.
Gittins, Kudus. Palmer is actually one of the best pressers that we have on this team. Like by the numbers.
Long legs.
Yep. But if those were the four, right? Like Delap also. Delap is a monster. He's a machine up there pressing. With all those guys, like we're gonna look different defensively too. We're gonna try to win the ball a lot higher up the pitch this year. I think that's the goal, to win the ball higher and quicker up the pitch. Like that's the adjustment defensively that I think that they're trying to make. And let's see if you can play out of your midfield, because our midfield, well, we think are better than anybody else. We think our midfield's better than everybody else's. It's a fact. And I don't blame Enzo Maresca for thinking that. Like, I think we line up as good as anybody in football against PSG. Outside of Robert Sanchez making a mistake, I think we line up as good as anybody in world football. So that's the realistic nature of what we're dealing with here. Get to this final now. Like before this tournament, I didn't care. Okay. Now that we're here and I see the pathway to the final, it's time to do some things. Win this game, move forward. Plain and simple. It's that simple. Win tonight, move forward. Let's see.
Hey, you win the Club World Cup. Chelsea's back and no one's saying nothing. Two trophies
in the same
double.
Bro.
International cup.
Two European cups in the same season.
Internationals. Club World Cup.
And it's very possible too, bro. That's the thing. You know that in Vegas at this current moment, in Vegas, we are the favorites.
Sense to me.
Because, I mean, PSG still has to play Bayern or Real Madrid. Or Dortmund, which I don't think it would be Dortmund, but.
But Phineas, you can't say that, bro. You can't say that.
What did he say?
He said we're not back because we need to win a UCL or a league. Nah, in my opinion, that would be it would be the first sign that we're back if we won this tournament.
Yeah, if you guys win this tournament, people are looking at.
I don't know when you
like,
did you if you maybe just looked at them, but as of last week, we were the leaders. Maybe because of the Lavia injury and everything, that the Caicedo being out and everything. Maybe that's why we're not leading. But I think based off pathway, we should be the odds-on favorite, in my opinion.
what time is it?
Right now,
Yeah.
it's 11 at your time.
All right.
But everyone, I appreciate you guys coming in. Let's leave you with a quick Conte clip, and we'll head out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.